Follow the rule of never give money to people that hate your guts. And let's face it, there's a lot of those kinds of companies.
We define monetizable as the revenue captured software-based services.
It's software-defined features.
Isn't that cool?
Welcome to Rip Roaring Garage. I'm Alex, and I'm on the road today in this really cool hotel for a peasant like me at the IBM Learning Center in somewhere in New York. I don't even remember anymore. Yes, mechanics do go to learning centers, shut up. And on this episode, I want to talk about something that it's kind of been bugging me a while because let's face it, on this platform, you see a lot of channels, they're going to do a low-hanging fruit topic, Malaise era cars. One thing that's kind of missing as far as the whole general topic is why? How do you get to that level? You might ask yourself, I don't care, whatever. It was 40 years ago, doesn't matter. Well, yes, because we're about to enter Malaise 2.0, and this is to give us an understanding of how things can get so bad. It's not an issue of things kind of just little by little boiling pot till they get terrible. No, this is very sudden and very brusque, hard-fisted hammer coming down, and that's government intervention. I'm pretty sure every one of you guys is on board. You kind of know how I feel about this. Government should have a minimal impact when it comes to your freedoms and when it comes to commerce and industry. You can't regulate scientific progress, and that's what happens with cars. They are scientific in nature.
An instrument that would not only supply inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal gram meters. Such an instrument is the turbo encabulator.
Advancements made in the engine, in the systems, the features, the way they're built. Everything is trying to compete with the other guy. This is something that's very natural. You see it ever since you go to school. You might have this competition with another student. Oh yeah, I'm gonna outdo him. Be it sports, some club, playing chess, math. What? Whatever. The same happens when you scale it up. Unless the teacher comes down and no, because that's bullying. You can't do that. This is my friend. We're just playing. We're playing for keeps. Nope. And that's when we have the things like in California where they ban the sale of a certain technology. What this does is forces you, let's say you're Dodge, it forces you to like, okay, what do? We got to scramble. And that technology is not ready. It is nowhere near ready. Let's not even, let's just table the little part about it being viable to begin with. Same thing happened in 1973. All of a sudden they said, oh, no, you got to put these kinds of bumpers on the cars. And what happened with those bumpers? Oh, the bushings fail. You get the drooping bumper syndrome that every 80s car pretty much has. And that's going to be pretty much the same issue with modern cars. Nobody sets out to make a crappy car. Nobody set out to make a poor quality K car or a Corvette with less power than a 71 Vega. Nobody wants that. Yeah, there is an issue of cost. You want to minimize certain costs. Look at Tesla. Okay, Tesla's not really competing with anybody, and that's why there hasn't been a fire lit under their butts.
Spreader. What are you gonna do with that?
To make those cars fit and finish just right. You got body gaps and panel gaps the size of Texas. Quality, not the greatest. That's why you see an old Tesla, let's say you haven't driven it for 6 months, all of a sudden half the stuff doesn't work. Doors don't open, windows don't roll down, nothing. However, they're not regulated yet. And there is that episode coming. In fact, they're supposed to be now, but I'm here. Got to deal with this conference tomorrow. I got to find when to edit it. But that episode is basically a shift in the paradigm when it comes to EVs. And it's not necessarily technological, it is political. As most everything these days. Who's invested in what? I'm gonna just tease you. What makes this video different than every other video that talks about the Malaise era? Other than, okay, I do mention government, the smog emissions that came out in 73 and emission standards choking these engines that were not ready. Guess what? It would have happened anyways. People don't want cars that pollute. Even if it's just starting it up in your garage, you don't want to have 30 seconds until death.
The death clock home for wayward kitties. Release the kitties.
So there was an incentive. Why did government have to do it? It was a little before my time. I wasn't born there yet, but I have a feeling that some people like Ralph Nader, that had a hard-on against GM, I'd be willing to bet that he shorted GM stock. Just a hunch. I'm going to tell you what we can do about it, because we're not helpless. Maybe it's my mood, maybe because I'm feeling better, I'm doing things, life is moving, and maybe I have a bias towards that.
Oh my God, I love being motivated. I love being motivated. Me too. I love being motivated.
We have a hell of a lot of power. I will be talking in the future about Elon Musk and the whole Twitter thing, because prior to this whole debacle, if you type in any hashtag, Mopar, Hellcat, whatever, nothing appears. Just no car culture on Twitter. You type in cars, there's a channel or some account called The War Against Cars. And I thought, right on, yeah, let's address the war against cars and fight back against this BS. Oh no. They are leading the charge against cars. They're a bunch of Chinese communist bicycle lovers. I mean, I like riding a bike as much as the next guy that happens to have a broken neck and a broken back, but whatever. I'm like, what do you want? Have traffic jams with bicycles? That's Twitter for you. That needs to change. But here's my little handle thing on Twitter, Mechanic Metal. What needs to happen is our voices need to be heard in the digital town square. So join me there. I'm a little bit of a troll right now, because you know how it is, you let the dog off the leash, he goes nuts for a while, but then eventually calms down. That's kind of where I am. All right, let's get back to what I was saying. Malaise. What's happening now is we have government that's overbearing, and not just one government, because at least before, GM, Ford, Chrysler, they only had one set of a-holes to deal with. That was the federal government back then. They didn't give a rat's ass about Europe. Oh, you want a Corvette in Europe? Tough crap. Go buy an Opel. And European companies weren't, or very few were importing in the US. Nobody really cared about the Renault 12 or whatever, the Fuego. Nobody bought those cars. Nowadays, oh, you got global platforms. And why global anything? Because it's cheaper. You own the subsidiary in Europe and the subsidiary in the US, you make one platform. What Dodge is doing, the Stella 1 or Stella A or whatever.
It's software-defined features powered by our diversity, with 3 all-new AI-powered technology platforms to arrive in 2024. Powered by our diversity.
The past was about increasing margins by moving customers north in hardware and trim levels. Our future is about offering customers software-based services. We define monetizable as the revenue captured within the car's first 5 years of life.
Powered by our diversity.
With addition of augmented reality capabilities. Isn't that cool? We're also launching a grand hackathon. Isn't that cool? We are leveraging our partnerships like Foxconn Mobile.
Across the street from Foxconn employees, a human wall of special police in white hazmat suits is standing by. What would happen? People didn't stop, signaling their determination that no one could stop them from going home.
Isn't that cool?
On some sections of the road, there are large trucks blocking the road, trying to intercept the workers.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool?
It's because many kids who are as old as I am are mandatorily required to be sent to that place by their schools. They are as old as I am. They're not there to make money. They're forced to. There's no food. They have to scramble for food if there is any, and the food is spoiled.
Isn't that cool?
Foxconn hands out meals, 1 meal for a room of 6 people. 6 people are quarantined in this room, and only 1 lunchbox.
Isn't that cool?
No matter if people are working or not, their belongings are all thrown out. This is what Foxconn has done.
Isn't that cool?
Now they got to contend with multiple governments. American a-holes, European a-holes, Australian a-holes, Chinese a-holes. And what happens? The technology just stops. You're gonna get fancy gizmos, piano black this, shiny white plastic that, make you feel like it's a new car, but it ain't. It's all the same garbage. And eventually there's a breaking point. And that's when malaise sets in. Your buyer base doesn't care. It's just something you buy. Nobody bought a K car out of passion. Sure, if you have one now, I would think it's cool, but back then, if you bought that car, you were wrong. It's the wrong car to buy. What do we do now? Simple. We buy what we want, not what they want. If a company crosses that line and really takes a dump on you, simple. Follow the rule of never give money to people that hate your guts. And let's face it, there's a lot of those kinds of companies. Yeah, it's gonna be tough sometimes. That's why I have a crappy cell phone. That's why I have older tech in my house, because I refuse to go down that route. I refuse to buy what they want. If I want something, why would I get something else? If you want a cheeseburger and somebody says, here's a zombie apocalypse ration pack, would you take that choice? Hell no. If you want that burger, you're gonna want that burger. But then again, they're trying to force us to eat the bugs. So what we have to do is just say no to crappy products. I know a lot of you guys already do that. We're already a very small group, people that love cars for the sake of loving cars, but we're a powerful group. What are the Halo cars? Oh wait, that's right. It's the muscle cars. It's the sports cars. It's the stick shifts. It's the V8, rear-wheel drive, naturally aspirated or supercharged, turbocharged. Those are the cars that make them money. Without us buying them, they make nothing. Nobody buys the Charger and it sits there. Nobody's gonna go into a dealership to look for the freaking Dart. The local dealership, word of mouth spreads. Oh, did you hear? They got a Demon, they got a Super Stock, they got a this. I remember when I went to my local dealership for a Chevy and they had the Hot Wheels Camaro. It was a gorgeous car. Kind of beating myself up that I did not buy it because it was an automatic. I found out because I was at a car show and a buddy of mine heard from a buddy of his that, hey, they got this car on the lot. Go check it out. So I did. And so did my neighbor that bought it right after I left. I didn't see him. I just saw the car pull up at the car show following week. It's like, hey, I sat in that thing. Huh? I was like, cool, okay. I have to get dressed. I'm meeting a couple of people for dinner and there's some things motioning in the background here. And I would like it, if you guys tag along, so subscribe. This is the beginning of something that's going to be it's going to be different. I want this to be different. It has to be different if we're going to succeed. From this channel, what we do with our cars, how we're going to manage in a digital age. A lot of people are pushing back against that crap, and rightfully so. Leave a comment. I answer every single comment. I know right now things are a little hectic with everybody because holidays are coming and shopping and family and whatnot, but I will get back to you and let's have the discussion there. Let's talk about how we can avoid the following generation, because right now it's 1971. We're reliving that history, and to break this cycle, it's up to us. We have to be strong. We have to be the examples. So somebody driving that little car can look up, it's like, yeah, that's the car I want. I want the gas-powered one, not that freaking vacuum Fratzonic thing. So I'm gonna cut it off here. Next episode is going to be, reminder again, hit that like button. The like button is tremendously important, regardless of what platform you're on. Rumble is back. We got thumbnails and things are starting to move up. So if you're watching this on Rumble, do like a V8 does in Rumble. Same applies to people on BitChute and people on YouTube. So I'm Alex. This is Rip Roaring Garage, where oil is thicker than blood. Now hand me a like. Zombie apocalypse. Here's a zombie apocalypse ration clip. Here's a zombie apocalypse ration clip. Here's a zombie apocalypse ration card. Here's a zombie apocalypse ration card. Why can I not say pack? Ration pack.